That $30,000 handbag you're flexing on Instagram? Yeah, it was made in China. And no, not a knockoff. The real deal, stitched together in a factory thousands of miles from Paris, then shipped to France for a tiny finishing touch. That's all it takes for it to legally say, made in France. The luxury world just got flipped upside down. Chinese factory workers are pulling back the velvet curtain, and what they've revealed is sending shockwaves through the fashion industry. Turns out your favorite French-crafted designer bag? It might have only cost $1,400 to make. And that includes the real leather. This isn't about dupes. This is about the billion-dollar secret luxury brands never wanted the public to hear. It started with a few viral TikToks. Factory workers in China casually showing footage of luxury bags being manufactured in Shandong, Jiangsu, and Guangzhou. Not just lookalikes, the actual factories producing Hermès, Chanel, Prada, even Louis Vuitton. Real stitching, real materials, same patterns. The only difference? The tags hadn't been sewn in yet. One clip showed a $500 handbag on display. Not in Paris, not Milan, but in a Chinese workshop, lined up next to dozens more. No pushy salespeople, no elite showroom. Just rows of luxury bags waiting to be exported and flipped for 100 times the price. And that's when the truth began to unravel. Meet Tanner Leatherstein, a leather expert turned whistleblower. He's made a name for himself by slicing open designer bags on camera and exposing what's inside. And what he found? Stunning. A genuine Hermès Birkin bag. Retail price $38,000. Actual production cost about $1,400. The entire bag, built to perfection, is assembled in China. Then it's shipped to France, where someone adds a buckle or a stitch. Boom. Legally, it's made in France. It's a marketing magic trick, and we fell for it. Let's get real for a second. When people drop 5 figures on a handbag, they're not buying it because the stitching is that good or the leather smells that rich. They're buying it because it feels exclusive, because it says, look at me, I've made it. That's the illusion luxury brands have been selling us for decades, and they've mastered it. We picture a serene Parisian studio. White walls, golden sunlight streaming in, a lone artisan with decades of experience handcrafting a bag with precision and love. Maybe there's soft jazz playing. Maybe they sip espresso between stitches. That image? A total fantasy. In reality, most of that bag was stitched, glued, lined, and prepped in a high-volume factory overseas. The same kind of factory that also makes wallets for mid-tier brands and, yes, some high-end knockoffs. And here's the trick. If even one small piece is assembled in France or Italy, the whole thing can legally carry that glamorous made-in label. Luxury brands know this. They depend on it. Because that label isn't just a geographic note, it's a psychological weapon. It tells your brain, this is worth more. But let's break that down. You're not paying $20,000 for leather. You're paying for illusion marketing. You're paying for a logo that costs pennies to stamp, a celebrity who is paid to post it on Instagram, a spot in a showroom designed to intimidate, a fake sense of scarcity that forces you to earn the right to buy one. And it works, because for years, they've convinced us that European equals elite, and anything made in China is cheap. But if these bags are 90% made in China anyway, what are you actually buying? A tag, a story, a dream. Luxury isn't about materials, it's about manipulation. The marketing is so strong, people will line up outside of stores just for a chance to buy a bag they didn't even pick. Imagine that, dropping tens of thousands of dollars on something you didn't choose yourself. That's not fashion, that's a cult. And the wildest part? Most of these brands are owned by private equity groups. Their real goal isn't craftsmanship, it's margins, profit, scalability. They treat fashion like tech startups. Manufacture for as little as possible, mark it up 1,000%, then tell you you're lucky to have it. So when someone tells you a bag is luxurious because of where it's made, remember, that label might be the most expensive part. As the truth spread, Hermès snapped into damage control. First, they quietly slashed prices in multiple global markets, something they never do. Then they pushed out polished videos showing factories in France, workers smiling, bags neatly lined up, a perfect illusion. But here's the catch. The video showed just a fraction of the work being done. No mention of the bags being 80% assembled in China before they ever reached Europe. At the same time, Hermes began suing former factory partners in China, alleging defamation, intellectual property theft, all because they told the truth. Funny how fast loyalty fades when secrets go public. Now, here's where it gets even wilder. The ultra-wealthy? They've been skipping Hermes entirely. Many of them have direct lines to the same Chinese factories that make real Birkins and Kellys. No logos, no drama, same leather, same thread, just cheaper. Some TikTok creators even exposed their fake bags, and guess what? They were made by the exact same manufacturer Hermes used. Influencers, celebs, and stylists, many of them are rocking high-quality dupes while tagging the real brands. Why? Because it's about the look, not the authenticity. Luxury is no longer about quality, it's about clout. The resale market is spiraling. Collectors are realizing they've paid 5 figures for bags that came from the same places knockoffs are made. Resellers are panicking as prices drop and demand falls off a cliff. One buyer spent $60,000 on a Birkin, only to find a near-identical version online for $500. When Tanner Leatherstein cut it open, same leather, same stitching. The illusion is cracking, and fast. Hermes isn't the only one sweating. Louis Vuitton, Prada, Chanel, all use Chinese manufacturers for the bulk of their production. But here's the kicker. They only need to do one step in Italy or France to legally use that "Made in" label. Sew a button, stitch a handle, that's it. One factory in China was found producing bags for over 10 major luxury brands. Not fake versions, the real ones. And they now sell direct to consumers. Identical bags, minus the tag, for 90% less. The same hands making your $5,000 clutch are now selling it to you for $500. Tanner isn't some basement conspiracy theorist. He's a leather worker, a craftsman, and he spent over $100,000 buying designer bags and tearing them open on camera. He exposed Chanel for switching out real gold for plated metal, called out Louis Vuitton for flimsy interiors, dissected Hermes bags, finding nothing that justified the price tag. According to him, a real Birkin costs maybe $600 to make. So what's the rest of the price for? A logo. And a lie. The truth is out. The illusion is shattered. Luxury labels spent decades convincing us that made in China equals cheap, and made in France means quality. But now we know. The factories in China have the skills, the tech, and the materials, often better than their European counterparts, and the internet won't forget. So ask yourself, are you still willing to drop $25,000 on a label stitched in Shenzhen? This isn't just about Hermes. It's about the entire luxury industry. Their house of cards is falling. Because when image is everything, the truth is the ultimate scandal.